We have the one and only Dr. James Flowers with the J. Flowers Health Institute. Dr. Flowers, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today. So excited to be here. So much appreciated.
And as we think of the real estate community right now, real estate is smoking hot in Houston, Texas, and even in other places. And one of the things is that people have been sitting around their homes with their families in some cases and looking around saying, man, I need a new home. I don't like this. Even remodeling is going up. But as we've all been at our homes more in quarantine in some cases, we're also looking at ourselves in terms of doing the best we can with this unique opportunity and challenge of the COVID-19 that's been upon us. So as you help people with addiction, pain, overall harmony in body and mind, help people or give us a few points about how we can thrive during this time, challenging time, how we could do better.
You bet, absolutely. And I have to reiterate what you just said. So many of my friends in Houston are real estate agents, and they say they have never been busier in their careers during this COVID-19. It is just wild that listings are flying off the shelf right now. So it's interesting having those friends and knowing that they're experiencing this success, because unfortunately, so many of us are stuck at home. So many people have been stuck at home and thinking, should I sell my house? I don't think I have enough room. We need some more space. Or being in the same house, can you imagine all the people in the United States that typically travel throughout the week doing sales? They leave on Monday, they come home on Friday. They haven't seen their children or their spouse typically during that week. And during COVID, throughout most of this year, as you know, flights are down 92% around the country because families are isolating inside the house. And they're becoming frustrated. They want more room. They want outdoor. They want a yard. They want a bigger yard, or they want a bigger house. And what I've told my friends and that have been traveling or not been able to been traveling is look, get outside. Go outside in the morning, early in the morning, do some exercise, go on a bike ride. You can do yoga classes at home now. There's on-demand yoga. There's on-demand exercises. Getting a game of cards out, even just sitting around the table and playing. But I really like to say Houston, Texas is also this amazing city with parks everywhere. Memorial Park, Herman Park, Rice University. Get outside. If you don't run, get outside and walk 3 miles around Memorial Park or around Rice University. And do some meditation classes, do some yoga classes at home, and really communicate with your loved one what your needs are. I need some more space. I need some time. I need to get outside and exercise, but also encourage your loved ones to go out and exercise as well and get out of the house.
That's right. And sometimes as we've all been together maybe more than we're used to, as you said, a lot of people have travel as their normal practice. In fact, I used to be in that world for almost 30 years where I traveled all the time. And then at one point, I just couldn't take it anymore.
Sure.
But relationships can also wear if we're together too much, and you're helping people with that all the time.
Yeah, we really are. It is amazing how many new clients that have called our practice or my practice since February because their spouses are home and they haven't been able to do anything, and arguments ensue. Do you know that the Houston Police Department reports right now that domestic violence cases in Houston, Texas are up 87%?
Wow.
From a year ago. And that's because people feel stuck at home and they get in arguments. And what we really need to do is communicate our feelings and learn how to talk to each other and say, this situation is temporary. It is going to end. We don't know when it's going to end, but let's give each other some space. Let's understand that we love each other, that we're not normally in a close space like this together. And we need to go out and do some exercise. We need to go out and walk in the evening, walk in the morning, take a midday lunch break and go out and walk. If two couples or two people in a couple are typically now using Zoom so many times all day long, take a break and just step outside for a little bit. But understanding that your partner needs some space is healthy. It allows us to continue to thrive in a marriage or a relationship. And it doesn't mean that we have to be stuck together and unhappy.
That's right. The other thing about the real estate professional, and many of them, there are so many in Houston, Texas, but the other thing that happens, not just with realtors, but other people that we'll call independent contractors, one of the anxieties outside of even this COVID 19, one of the anxieties people in business for themselves face is they don't have a regular paycheck. So
That's right.
sometimes we would deal with a certain financial anxiety. What would you say to people there to help them along that way?
Yeah, and that is a huge problem right now. People have been furloughed, people are on unemployment, one couple in the household is not working as much, and it is financial stress during COVID-19 has had a huge impact within our family systems all over the world, really, but in particular, we're talking about Houston. And even in Houston, we're seeing major layoffs from airlines and from companies. And the way to do that really is again, I believe that communication is key. Don't ignore the fact that you're having financial stressors. A lot of times, a couple will be going through financial stress and they just don't want to talk about it. They'll put blinders on and live as if everything is okay, and they'll whip out the credit cards and start living on credit cards. The key, again, is communicate. Honey, I was just laid off. They're both going to know that, but how do we adjust our living right now? It sounds terrible, but one of the benefits of going through COVID-19 right now is we're not out going to restaurants as much as we were. We're not out spending money at the Galleria or anywhere else and buying a lot of things right now. And we are able to save money during this COVID time. I know my expenses have personally dramatically decreased because I'm not doing the social things that I used to do because we want to remain safe. So talk to your spouse, work on a new budget, look at the money that you can save, cut out extra expenses, take shorter vacations. No one's really taking big vacations right now anyway. Take a weekend trip to the hill country and stay in a bed and breakfast instead of going to a huge resort and spending a week there. But being able to get out and take a little weekend drive to Brenham and come back, go to Round Top for a day and turn around and come back. But really looking and communicating at how you can save money instead of spending money during this time is so important. And you do that through healthy communication.
We are talking with Dr. James Flowers. He is the founder of the J. Flowers Health Institute right here in Houston, Texas. The website is jflowershealth.com. Also, one of the things a lot of real estate professionals listen to this show, but also everybody else does. And when we think those that are driven, those that are doing well right now or want to do well, when we think about business performance and doing what we're passionate about, when it comes to performance, what are some of the things that you advise people as far as keeping to take a phrase from Cool Hand Luke many years ago, you have to have your mind right. What are some of the things that you think about or advise people to be in the top performance levels in their profession?
You couldn't be more right on that. We got to have our mind right
There
and
you
in the
go.
right space to continue to be successful. And my practice is really based on working with executives and high performing individuals really from around the world that fly into Houston and spend time with me right here in Houston to really understand how they can thrive best. And the way to really thrive and not just survive is you have to look at your mind, your body, and your spirit. You've got to look at those three things: mind, body, and spirit. How is my mind? Am I depressed? Am I anxious? Am I fearful? So many of us suffer from what we call bag lady syndrome and thinking, oh my gosh, that was the last house I was ever going to sell. And it's COVID-19 and I'm not going to sell another house. And when you think that way, guess what? It doesn't happen. When you think positively and you visualize it, it happens. I know from my own life, I've achieved amazing things in my life because I visualized it. You can do a storyboard, a picture board in your office, in your home, and really put your goals on the wall and look at them and think about them and visualize them, and they happen. Believe me, if you can see it, you can achieve it. And if you put your mind in that right spot, and then you also put your body in that spot by exercising and eating right, you don't have to go out and run 5 miles a day, but you can get outside and walk for 30 minutes. Elevate your heart rate for about 30 minutes a day. Think about how positive your day is going to be. Talk to your friends that are doing well in the industry, in whatever industry that you're in, but in this case, in real estate. And then also offer help to others. Reach your hand out and help by giving them educational tips that you learned along your way to be successful. And I guarantee you it pays yourself back in spades. You bet. J Flowers Health is just what it is. jflowershealth.com. Phone number is 713-783-6655. And our website is jflowershealth.com. And what I really want everybody to know is that COVID is temporary. It's going to end. We don't know when it's going to end, but we all need to think positively. We need to visualize this virus being killed in our world. Let our scientists do their work, do our part, wear our mask, isolate as much as we can, do virtual tours in real estate, stay healthy, and really thrive in life. And if you need help doing that, give us a call.
There you go. At 713-783-6655, Dr. James Flowers. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Bill. Have a great day.